Welcome to Courier Prep Football Weekly. We're now beyond the halfway point in the season alongside Erik Jacobsen. I'm Andy Rohr.
Yeah, this week we'll be taking a look at our game of the week as always, and it's between South Elgin and St. Charles North on Saturday afternoon. We'll also be getting to know a couple players in the Faceoff.
And we'll also be getting Erik's picks on all the area's games. But first, let's take a look at this week's Game of the Week.
In the game of the week, 3-2 St. Charles North travels to take on 2-3 South Elgin. The Storm enter after an impressive win last week against TF South.
Just, a whole different demeanor, and just to watch them play, and they earlier in the year it would have been a scenario where I think we would have been stunned and like, oh well, here we go. But they didn't do it last week, so we were proud of that, to see that growth. So that's exciting. You're looking for your team to do that.
The North Stars figured to pose a great challenge to South Elgin.
We know we have a heck of a task this week. Went over and watched their ball game, and they're a tough group. It was a very physical game between them and Bartlett, and he's got a nice defense. Their offense, they're very physical. They got nice running backs.
Last year, the North Stars beat the Storm 34-7, but entered this week coming off a tough loss against Bartlett.
Yeah, there's stuff to learn from that loss. Sometimes in a loss, you see your mistakes are a little bit more glaring, but those are things that can be fixed. And so I think we did a lot of film watching yesterday and talking with the kids about things that can be fixed, that we can do better, which should help us down the road. We just want to be better every game. I think the first thing we told the kids is ignore that 6-3 East Aurora score, because that was in the mud and the slop, and that's not South Elgin's game. When we watch them on film, they look fast, they look quick. This last game they played against TF South, they were much, much better. They've got some people that can hurt you.
Now it's time for the face-off. This week we'll be talking with St. Charles North senior wingback Kyle Harmon, South Elgin senior cornerback Daniel Perez, and South Elgin receiver Josh Smith. Let's go, guys.
I'd say strawberry shortcake.
Just ice cream after dinner.
Peanut butter chocolate shake from Oberweis.
Not really. I don't watch much TV. If I do, it's Sports Center, ESPN.
Either Family Guy or I'd probably say One Tree Hill.
Favorite TV show? It's probably Sports Center.
I'm not a big follower of baseball, but I'm a Chicago White Sox fan, so I'd pick the White Sox.
Angels. Angels. I'm a California guy.
Of course, the Cubbies. You already know.
Looking forward to try out rugby this year. My brother was on a state team last year, so.
Basketball. Die-hard Laker fan.
Basketball. That's the way to go.
As the season moves along, the questions get harder in the face-off. All right, Erik, now it's time for your picks. Let's get it started with the game of the week, St. Charles North and South Elgin.
Yeah, all right. I've been up all night, long nights lately trying to think over these picks. Starting out with St. Charles North, South Elgin. Looks like a pretty good game. That's a game of the week. I think we're going to have another competitive one here. The North Stars coming off a bruising game against Bartlett. South Elgin, man, what a win last week down at Thornton Fractional South. The Storm really made a statement there, beating an unbeaten team, a perennial playoff team. So kudos to the Storm there. This is going to be a heck of a ball game. I think South Elgin's going to definitely be able to hang in there, stick with the North Stars. North's running game's going to have to get back up and rolling, but I think St. Charles North just got a little edge here. I'm going to take St. Charles North, but in a pretty good game. And South Elgin, they proved us wrong last week. They went down to Thornton Fractional South, and they could do it again here. But I kind of like St. Charles North in a pretty good game here.
All right, staying in the conference then, it's Bartlett. They're going to be hosting Elgin.
Yeah, man, you talk about mismatch on paper. Elgin comes in 0-5, really struggling on defense. They giving up close to 50 points a game. And then there's Bartlett on the other hand, state ranked in Class 8A. They're a powerhouse, 5-0. They're looking at an undefeated season. No real question here. I'm going to go with Bartlett, but Elgin's offense could, that's an explosive offense. Anything can happen there, but I think Bartlett will be able to contain the Maroons for the most part.
All right, then Larkin, they're going to be looking to get back on track as Streamwood comes in.
Yeah, Larkin's going to, definitely they know they got the work cut out for them. They know that 5 wins gets in the playoffs. They got 2 now. They got 4 weeks left. They got to win 3 games here down the stretch, and this is one that they think they can get probably against Streamwood. But the Sabres, I thought that was pretty impressive last week against East Aurora. I think East Aurora is an improved team this year, and the Sabres really went out there and played really well. They played like a hungry team, and if they can get that same kind of effort this week and maybe have that same kind of confidence, they're certainly capable of hanging with Larkin. This could actually be a little better game than everybody thinks it will be, but I'll give the edge to Larkin. I think that the Royals are pretty tough, and they'll dig deep, but expect a pretty good game here.
All right, to the Fox Valley Valley. Dundee Crown, they're going to be looking to get back on track as well. They're going to be taking on Crystal Lake South.
Yeah, not that big of a surprise when the Chargers got to Fox Valley play. It got a lot tougher last week against Woodstock, and it's certainly going to be even tougher this week. I think it's homecoming up at Crystal Lake South, and a tough test for the Chargers. But the bottom line is Dundee Crown wants to go in there and play tough and have a respectable showing, because that's only going to help build the confidence going forward. Who knows? Anything can happen in these games. I'm going to take Crystal Lake South, but the Chargers expect them to hang around, and it's just a matter of sticking it out the second half. They were close with Woodstock through the first half last week, but just couldn't extend that. But I like them to hang around, but Crystal Lake South to win.
All right. Burlington Central, the Rockets, they got their first win of the season last week. They're going to be going into Richmond Burton.
Yeah, a little change up at quarterback. Tim Botsford came in for Tim Moroder, and Moroder's still taking snaps there. But I like the way that different teams around the area are doing it. They're going with the 2 quarterback thing. It's possible. Teams can actually do that. You don't just have to have one guy. And that says a lot about the character of the guys who are capable of kind of sharing that position and kind of doing what's best to help the team. And I like what Burlington did there. I think the Rockets are going to go, and the Burlington Rockets, not the Richmond Rockets. The Burlington Rockets are going to go on the road and get a win here. They're keep that unbeaten Big Northern season alive. It's going to be a tough game, and it's really probably a toss-up. But I'm going to give the edge to Burlington Central here.
All right. Then Hampshire, they're going to be looking to even up their record of 3-3. They're going to be hosting Harvard.
Big one here. Outside of our game of the week, this is probably one to keep an eye on. This is maybe the game for the Big Northern East championship. These are maybe the 2 best teams. It should be a great game. At Hampshire, they're playing a lot better now. The ground game's been established. Harvard's playing well, 3-2 coming in, and they certainly are hungry every year. Coach Tim Hack gets that team ready to go. I'm going to go with Hampshire here. I think in a very good game, I'm going to go with the Whippers. It's going to be a toss-up. It could go either way. I could be wrong on this pick, but I like Hampshire the way they're playing the last couple of weeks, and I think that they've kind of got their swagger back, and they'll be able to take care of business here.
All right, things are going to also be getting very tough for St. Edward as Driscoll comes in.
Yeah, the way it's just a meat grinder in the Suburban Catholic Conference. These teams they're playing against. This is a tough one as always. Driscoll's not just a perennial state playoff team. They win state championships every year. So this is going to be tough. I like Driscoll to win here, coming to St. Edward, but I don't think it's going to be quite the blowout we've seen in years past. And the Wave will certainly hang around and be in this game. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I don't know, but just for recent history, I got to go with Driscoll in this one.
All right, back to the Upstate 8 then. St. Charles East is going to be traveling to Neuqua Valley.
It's a big one for St. Charles East. They got over the hump last year. They lost a couple in a row to Neuqua coming into last year's game, and they beat them. And that was at North Stadium over St. Charles East. Now they're going to have to go down on the road and do it. But I think this is the year where the Saints will win down at Neuqua. The Wildcats certainly got back on track with the win against Larkin last week. But I like St. Charles East, and they're playing really well. How about Wes Allen? 6 touchdowns last week. Man, that guy's he's going out of control. But I like the Saints in this one on the road. This should be a pretty good game. This is a key for the Saints if they want to keep in the title hunt in the Upstate 8.
All right, Jacobs then going to be traveling to McHenry. A couple 1-4 teams taking on one another there.
Yeah, a couple hungry teams here. Jacobs lost 4 in a row. Look at the teams they're playing. They played Huntley, they've played Cary Grove. They played teams that are unbeaten. The records of the teams they're playing is a testament to how they've been struggling. Jacobs just running into some tough squads here. With that said, McHenry's kind of in the same boat here, but I think McHenry will get this win. I'm going to go with McHenry, but expect a pretty good contest. But I think the Warriors are maybe just a little step ahead, but it could go either way here.
All right, the Cogs then, Genoa Kingston, they're looking to keep the line moving. They're going to be hosting Rockford Lutheran.
Yeah, keep that moving. All right, here we go. One win here, and GK becomes playoff eligible for the second year in a row. I think it had been since '94 until last year where they hadn't made the playoffs. So GK certainly playoff fever out there again for the Cogs, and I think they're going to get it done. No problem here against Rockford Lutheran. Don't get caught looking ahead, though. GK's got games against Oregon and Stillman Valley coming up in the next 2 weeks. Those 2 teams are unbeaten. Those are huge games for the Cogs. GK can't get caught napping here. I don't expect that that will, but certainly the Cogs should be favored here. I think they'll win.
All right, Huntley, another team undefeated. They're going to be traveling to Grays Lake Central.
Yeah, and Huntley could go 6-0, and we talked about GK's playoff drought. Well, Huntley's only made the playoffs twice in school history, and so this is a huge opportunity for the Raiders. They've been hungry for this all year. They've come out and they've they've proven themselves without a doubt, and I think they'll get that 6th win, clinch it here against Grays Lake Central. Then it'll get a little tougher, just like GK. They got a couple big games coming up in the last couple weeks of the season, including a Week 7 matchup with Crystal Lake Central. But this is kind of the last of the I don't want to say easy games, but the last of the games where Huntley's going to be a slam dunk favorite. It's going to be getting a little tougher, but I like the Raiders and I like the way they're playing, and I'm going to take them here.
All right, Eric, thanks for your picks on all the area's games. Be sure to check out Friday's Courier News for all the game previews and all the area's matchups. On Saturday, game recaps in the Courier News as well. And be sure to check out the Courier News online blog all around E-Town all weekend long, as Eric, myself, and a few other guys will be writing down our blogs on all the area's matchups, a little more in depth than we can get in the Courier News. And then on Sunday, on the Courier News online, the Game of the Week video, St. Charles North and South Elgin, the highlights will be posted there. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us.